Mine is like a flower. It opens up only when the time is right. On that note, I would like to welcome Karthik onto the stage for his presentation.
Hello. So, good morning to one and all present here. My name is Karthik, and this is the first time I'm actually giving a TED talk. So, I was pretty nervous how to start with it. Fine. Wink talk. Okay. So, I googled a couple of ways to start a wink talk, and or a TED talk, fine, whatever. And I came across three nice ways to start a talk. One is you could start with a quote. Two, you could start with a joke. Or three, you could start with a thought-provoking question. So here I am, starting this talk with a quote. Don't worry, this is not my quote and all. This is said by Buddha. I just put my picture there. So starting this talk, uh, willpower. So what do you all think about willpower? Any? What do you think about willpower? Okay, I'm sure all of you have your own views about willpower. But according to me, and for all those lazy guys like you who are just like me, yeah. So for all of us lazy folks over here, getting up in the morning is a true test of willpower. I'm sure you all agree, right? All of us, we keep alarms, we snooze it. Our friends come and beat us, they pour water. Nothing can shake our will, right? You all agree, right? So, but sometimes we do actually get up in the morning. So how do we do it? I mean, how do we actually get up when we want to? So I'll just give you a small example. Like me, I love playing football, and I would do anything. And I would get up at any time in the morning to play football, just because I love playing it and I have a passion for football. Same like that, each one of you will have a passion, and you believe in something, and that's when you can do the impossible. So on this, I would like to say once again, when you believe in yourself and you truly want to do something, you can do it. So how many of you have heard of him? Okay, good. So for those of you who don't know who he is, his name is Nick, and he's a guy just like you and me, and he does all the stuff that pretty much everyone of us can do. And he knows how to swim, he knows how to play cricket, he can golf, he can drum, he can do a whole bunch of things. But the only thing that sets him apart is that he doesn't have hands or legs. So how is Nick able to do all this, and how did he reach this stage in his life? So actually, Nick's life didn't start out very bright, guys. He too had a very hard life in the beginning. So he was actually born with a very rare condition, which made him, which is why he was born without hands and legs. And Nick, initially he faced a very hard time in the beginning, and he was picked on in school. He was, bullied a lot, and he gave up in life. He was so demotivated, and then he was like, he hit rock bottom. That was when Nick, at the age of 11, he tried to suicide. So this is like it is shocking to hear, right? And how did he become such a great man all of a sudden? So that's when there was a turning point in his life where he met a girl, okay? And this girl changed him and changed his attitude towards life. And she taught him that he can believe in himself. And when you believe in yourself, you can do what you want. And one more thing, and he also believed that he's no different from others, and why can't I do it? What's so great? What is stopping me from doing it? And in this passion and this belief, he was able to be the man who he is today. In fact, now he is also married to the same girl, and he has two children also. And yeah, 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 obviously. Yeah. No, 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 he's not that interested. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that depends on your point of view. You can look at it that way, and the other way to look at it is you don't have a choice. You have to come to college, you have to get up, you have to get over here. That's another way. Where here? Okay. Okay, that I agree to that. Okay, anyways. So when you believe in yourself, you can do the impossible and you can go out of the way to do it. I'm sure all of you, when you believe something, you go out of your comfort zone in order to achieve it. So moving on. Oh shit. Okay, so this is again Nick looking at this example of you yourself looking. When you truly believe that this fat guy over here, he believes that he can get six pack, and when he actually believes, I'm not saying just looking at himself, when he believes he can get six packs, his mind, takes actions in order to get that and achieve that. So that's what I'm talking about. So Nick did this and he believed in himself. And next thing, now I'm talking about belief, right? So talking about belief, all of us over here look up to God when we need something, right? And then what do? We pray, we have faith in God, and actually sometimes the wishes actually come true, right? So how does this happen? Can God really hear us? Or maybe God might be able to hear us. But the actual science behind this is when we go to pray to God, we actually go repeating a bunch of words over and over again in front of God. And what happens actually is these words get embedded into your subconscious mind. Now, what this means is your subconscious mind is a very powerful thing, first of all. And when you embed these things in your subconscious mind, your mind shapes your actions, and it helps you achieve and fulfill the task. So that's why sometimes we feel that our prayers are answered by God. But in fact, it's actually God who is in our mind, and we are actually controlling ourselves to do this. And that's how we're able to do this. Okay. So now another small illustration about how powerful our mind can be. So do any of you know what this means? What's placebo effect? You know, right? Okay. For those of you who don't know, I'll just give you a small example about what placebo effect is. So all of us, when we are sick, we go to the doctor, right? And what does he do? He gives us a couple of medicines and he's like, you just eat it for the next 3 days and you'll become all right. And in fact, we actually do become all right in the next 3 days. So what if I tell you the doctor wasn't actually giving you medicines and he was giving you sugar pills? Will you be amazed? Okay, you all look amazed. Fine. So, okay, anyways. So the doctor's giving you sugar pills and still, you recover in the next 3 days, but you don't know that, right? So what's happening over here? So this is called the placebo effect. What happens is our mind is programmed in such a way that when the doctor gives us something, it is set in our mind that whatever he gives us is going to make us feel better. It's programmed in our mind. So when the doctor gives us a medicine, it's equated in the mind saying that we are going to feel good. So it doesn't matter what he gives us. It just makes us feel good. So that's the science behind this, guys. So this is called the placebo effect. And it just goes to show that your mind actually heals you, and your mind is such a powerful thing. This is just a small example. I'm sure some of your friends would have acted like this. Right? Okay. Anyway, moving on. So talking about the mind and talking about belief and willpower, I'm just going to share a small personal story to you about my brother. He's like 5 years older than me, and he's working in the military right now. He's in the defense, and he's a captain. And in the military, they have various techniques, physical and mental strength and all that. And there is a selection process of around one in every 2,000 people get selected for the military through the SSB, through direct entry. So it's a very rigorous test, and my brother is lucky to get into the military that way. And what they do is they keep some physical tests and all that, and they train you to run around 20-25 kilometers with a load of another 30 kilos on your back. And over the couple of months, your body gets used to it and you're able to run the 30 kilometers. But then there's something else interesting. They have something called a monthly challenge, in which you're supposed to run 75 kilometers at one stretch at one night. You have like 9 hours to do it. And only the people who pass the test are selected eventually. So what this means, so what is this? 75 kilometers is like 3 times the time you've trained for, right? So how do they do it? I mean, my brother is one of them who completed it. So I asked him, how did you do it? And he told me that first 25 kilometers though you're trained for it, and your body is able to do it because you've trained for it all this while. The next 25 kilometers you're just slogging yourself and you're just carrying your dead weight along, and you just somehow you complete 25 kilometers carrying your body, okay? And then you reach the 50-kilometer mark, and now you're like completely brain dead. Not exactly brain dead, your body completely shuts down, and you have no control over it. That's when your mind kicks in. So the next 25 kilometers is purely based on your mind willpower, and this goes to show that your mind it helps you cover the next 25 kilometers. It's purely based on the mind. It's totally mental. So this goes to show that our mind is a very powerful thing, and it helps us in life at points and times where we need it the most. So thank you. I would like to conclude by saying that the mind is everything. What you think is what you become. Thank you. Have a nice day.